When people are fleeing the war, people run together. And usually what happens is the children will see a group of people and they'll latch onto them and run with them. And then when we get in the refugee camps, they're alone. If they're sick, there's no one to look in on them and check on them. If they're hungry and have no food, no one's there looking after them. They're vulnerable to exploitation, to kidnapping, to trafficking. I'm Andy Soderstrom, and my wife Kathy and I are Vintage Grace missionaries. And we are doing holistic community development in rural Uganda. That means that we're making disciples, we're planting churches, and we're meeting the needs of the people in those villages. And I really want to thank Vintage Grace for your role in our ministry. You've helped us with motorcycles for our rural pastors. You helped us purchase a dump truck, which has cut our construction costs by 30%. And more recently, you've helped finish up some buildings that our different villages have started. Just a few years ago, we became involved with some pastors from South Sudan who were fleeing the civil war up there and ministering in the refugee camps in northern Uganda. There's over 1 million refugees who have fled the war. Most of them are women and children. Over half of them are children. And of that group, there's a sizable portion that we call child-headed households. Child-headed household is a group of children who have lost their parents either in the war or to disease and avoided trafficking, and they've made it to a different country all by themselves. You know, one of our partners sent me a picture of these two 12-year-old girls and their 5-year-old brother and saying these are child-headed households who have fled their country on foot, ended up in a refugee camp where they're expected to learn how to live on their own with no one to look after them. Our pastors in the refugee camps have been seeking out these children and determining the great needs they have. They need nutrition, they need education, and they need loving, healthy relationships with followers of Jesus. Typically, if they register, they're given the equivalent of $8.38 of corn and beans to live on per month, per family. And it's not enough. Malnutrition is a real problem with these kids. They have the bloated bellies, the large heads, and the small legs. And we need to figure out how to help them. So we developed a program called 838 Coffee to help meet these needs. We begin by sourcing our coffee directly from East African coffee farmers. We are paying 1.5 to 2 times fair trade value for their product. Secondly, we are roasting the coffee at a ministry in Santa Rosa that's helping retrain people coming out of rehab in the coffee industry. Finally, the proceeds from 838 Coffee are going directly to our partners in the refugee camps. They're using these funds to purchase fresh fruits and vegetables and nutritional supplements for these child-headed households. The coffee we're providing is premium coffee. It's as good as you're going to get. It really is. This is as good as you're going to get. And we're controlling the process all the way from the importer, through the roasting, through the bagging, and all the way to you. I'm really excited. I'm really involved in coffee all the way from the farm to the cup. I've been to the farmers, I've been in their homes, I've walked in their orchards, I've seen the processing plants. I actually roast coffee in my home. But what I'm most excited about is using this coffee to really help these child-headed households who are really the highest risk children on the planet right now. They are at risk of exploitation, human trafficking, disease, malnutrition. And through this program, we are enabling our partners in the camps, our pastors, to offer that loving, healthy relationship with followers of Jesus. And it allows them to really reach out and meet these very, very important needs they have in their lives. Developing these relationships with these children is going to help them in their personal growth. It's going to help impact their village and ultimately their nation.